It's live right
Oh, what a day, what a day, glorious. Gather round. There's nothing better than a friend. Oh, what a day, glorious. Smell of rain has its right upon the wind.
and then have you test so I can hear how many jams.
Okay, so just stay right here.
Give me just a second.
Yeah, will you throw these away? Yep, I'm talking. Test, test, test. Microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test, test, test. Oh, what a day. Can you hear me? Okay. Everybody. Are we close?
5:26.
Oh, man. Okay. I wonder what would happen if we put this closer.
We need to be closer to you because that's the audio.
Oh, okay. Maybe that will help. Hey. If you're already logging in and you want to say hi, I would love that. And then if anybody's willing to let me know how the sound is, that would be awesome too if you want to pop up in the chat and tell me how the sound is because I've got mic'd up today. Okay, so there's 5 of you. You can hear me fine, Kristen? All right, I'm going to go close to the music and then just tell me how that is because I'm seeing if the mic will help so that we can have music together. Okay, so of course the song just stopped, but let's see. Okay, how's the sound? I know you guys can probably hear me. Am I too loud? Is the music pointless? Okay. All right, thanks, Kristen. Hi, Oreo Brown. Awesome. All right, if you're joining and you're setting yourself up and getting settled in, you'll want 2 blocks. Okay, good. Thank you. Hey. Yeah, I'll share this playlist that I've been working on for our hearts. So I'll share that. So you'll just know what you have. Oh, hi, Gertie. Awesome. Okay. So what you'll need as you settle in is like probably maybe some blocks or some books, something that you know, or pillows that you can like bring the floor to you with. And then if you have like a long pillow, like a couch cushion will work, or like, you know, one of these types of dealios, or even just any pillow, you might enjoy that for the end. Okay. Cool. We'll just give it another minute. I'm going to settle in myself. Hey, hi, Sandra. Yay. So glad you're here.
Everywhere I go, yes, I get to be so low if I got depression. Wife don't put no part of me. Yes, that fact is hard on me. That
All right. So here we are. Maybe if some of you have been inside for like a week or two, or surely each of our lives have been changed in some way in the past few weeks, and there's a lot to process. And I think that at this time, our greatest need is around our need for compassion. So just to define compassion for a minute, empathy is how you feel your own feelings, and you're aware of your own feelings, but also how you feel the feelings of other people. So you might be a person who really like feels a lot of what's happening out in the world, and your heart is trying to process that. Your mind and your body are trying to process that all. Or it might be that you feel yourself having to close off from being able to feel so much in the world because it's quite overwhelming at times. So this class is an invitation for you to check in with how you're feeling, to really get into your body, to feel what's happening in your body, to feel what's happening in your heart, to be able to unify. The cool part about our heart is it's sort of the space where, you know, we can start to understand from our brains and our voices, and also get the information from our root and from what's happening in our bodies. So being able to connect with your heart space under the concept of compassion. So empathy being that you understand how you feel and other people feel, or you feel how they feel. But compassion being your ability to take action on that. So in this class today, you'll be cued a lot and offered a lot of space to check in with how you feel. And then also how you can take action to take care of yourself in that. So that's a big, just my heart. That's what I've got for you today. I want to share a space for you to take compassionate action for yourself. So our hearts in nature, the way that our hearts work, your blood is like pumping into your heart and moving out of your heart all the time. And that's just physiologically what's happening. But there's this energy of reaching out and reaching in. So just knowing that and keeping that in your awareness. What do you need to reach in with today? And what do you need to reach out? It really starts to ask us from many levels to close in, right? So not only do we maybe feel like we have to protect ourselves and close in, but our bodies are often in that position. If you sat at a computer all day, we're on our phones now, the shoulders coming forward, our heads down. So just knowing like what is the patterning and positioning in your body around your heart. So today we'll be looking into postures that open and expand across the front of your heart, but your heart has a back too, and how you can feel supported from behind to let your heart shine outward. So the postures will be focused in that direction. And I talked about the props, so I'll stop talking about what we're going to do and we'll do it. All right, dear ones. Just find yourself in an easy seated posture. And maybe you want to sit on a cushion. Maybe you don't. But just make yourself comfortable if you're not already. Just begin to notice your breathing. Perhaps you even close your eyes. Letting your breath flow naturally in and out of your body. Maybe you just start to feel how you feel in this moment. Turning some empathy inward toward yourself. Maybe not necessarily feeling and receiving all the feelings from the world, but feeling your own. And then bringing awareness into the space between your hips and your rib cage. Beginning to breathe in, really fill your belly and fill your lungs until you can't fill your body with breath anymore. You'll feel your heart lift and your lungs lift, and almost even maybe breathing all the way out through the top of your head. When you get to the top of your breath, breathe it out gently, but feel your belly button pull back in toward your spine. And your shoulder blades settle down into your back, plugging your scapula down in behind your heart. So you keep support as you exhale in the center of your body, in this third chakra area where your power is to support your heart, to support how you feel, to support you in reaching in and reaching out. So trying a few more breaths like this, breathing in. And then breathing out. Being mindful to let your shoulders come back and down. Filling your body three-dimensionally, breathing in as fully as you possibly can, holding for just a brief moment when you're completely full of breath. And then when you're ready to breathe out, just pulling your belly button in, deflating your belly, softening, and letting your shoulders come down your back, feeling the support of your will to keep your heart lifted. And just take a few more rounds and explore this breath yourself. And then when you feel ready, taking on your next breath, letting your arms flow out just a little bit wider than directly from your shoulders. Arms, by turning your palms toward the sky, pinkies come inward towards one another, and just aiding in that support of your shoulders coming back and down. When you're finished breathing out, breathing in, flipping your palms over. And then when you're ready to breathe out, flipping your palms back up, just feeling how your shoulders move back in the back of your shoulder socket. Explore this on your own. In breath, turning your palms down. Out breath, rotating your shoulders inward. And then when you're ready, floating your hands back down, beginning to bring actually both arms around yourself. So we'll come in the opposite direction now, wrapping your right arm over your left arm. And you can even reach back, depending on how long your arms are. Maybe you can feel your shoulder blades. And then just feel the space behind your heart, bringing that same breath into your awareness. And feel that breath in your body here now. So breathing into the back of your heart, feeling that fullness behind your heart. And then as you breathe out, just settling into this shape.
Using a mantra or phrase, I am loving awareness.
Perhaps connecting with the song and Baba Ram Das, maybe you start to say your own mantra or join in with his.
I am loving awareness.
Take one more breath here, really filling in the back of your heart. And then breathing out, pulling your belly button back and in, supporting your heart, but softening as you release. And slowly unclasping your hands, bringing your shoulders up by your ears, rolling them back and down, interlacing your fingers behind your back. Find one breath, just like we've been practicing, breathing in fully, breathing out, softening your shoulders.
I am loving.
On your next in-breath, just gently lift your clasped hands up to feel just the right amount of squeeze. So maybe you start to imagine you've got some kind of round fruit between your shoulder blades and you're trying to juice it. So the in-breath lifts your clasped hands up a little bit. And then the out-breath just lets you soften and release into the shape. And then when you're ready, just bringing your clasped hands over to your right side. So your right arm will have a bend in it. Your left arm will come back around your waist. And you'll just feel the top of your left shoulder pull back and down. Take a few breaths just like we've been doing here. And then coming over to the other side, taking your right arm over to the left, putting a bend in your right elbow, and finding that full in, lifted in breath, breathing as though you're breathing all the way out through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready to breathe out, supporting, feeling energy pull in and direct it up. Even as you soften into this shape, but you can feel the support of your core for your heart. And then slowly taking your arms back, just one more breath cycle here, breathing in, gently lifting, squeezing, shine your heart upward. And then breathing out, releasing your hands, wiggle your fingers, bringing your palms around. And then bringing your hands into what's known as Anjali Mudra or prayer. Just take your thumbs together and then bring them right up against your breastbone, right? Sternum, also known as. So just really connecting in there and then just turning your gaze downward to look at your fingertips. And actually, your heartbeat vibrates through your ribs. And so as you notice and look down at your fingertips, you might even get to see the energy of your heart in your hands. Just watching your heart gently vibrate in your hands. And then begin to ask yourself, how can I open to my own compassion today? Ask your heart,
I am loving awareness. I am loving
beginning to picture in your mind
awareness. Is a name for soul, which you really are.
someone in your life that is deeply compassionate.
Love everything you are aware of. The sky, the room, your body, other people.
And as you picture in your mind
Then I ride
someone who is deeply compassionate,
into my
draw into your awareness what they look like,
and in my heart.
what they sound like.
I see
It may be someone that you see all the time or someone you don't even know, but you just know about. Just allow yourself to completely connect
to the next
with the
plane.
compassion that they show, that they embody.
So
Allow yourself to feel this person's compassion wash over your body.
I am loving awareness.
Allow yourself to think of how that compassion sounds.
I am loving awareness.
What that compassion looks like. How that compassion smells, maybe even how it tastes. What might this symbol, this person that symbolizes compassion say to you? What does this person want you to know? And then stacking one hand over the other, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top. Just connect with your heart. And feel that all that compassion that other person represents is in your own heart. Feel how that compassion is received for yourself, and how that compassion reaches out for others. Begin to allow some movement here, kind of like the undulating of a wave. As you breathe in, letting your heart rock forward, lifting your chin. And as you breathe out, drawing the same compassion back in toward your heart. So the inhale lifts your heart up and around. And the out breath rocks forward. Or maybe you move independently of the breath, but start to feel that give and receive from your heart. How you give compassion in your life. And then let it all wash back in over your heart. And then releasing your hands down. Inhale, breathing your right arm up alongside your right ear. And then exhale, just taking a bend over to your left. And then as you exhale, just let yourself soften into a curve. And then inhaling, coming back through center. Exhale, tipping to the next side. Inhaling through center. And then exhaling to bend. Find your own flow here. And begin to honor how you feel. So take any action on that feeling that you need. Perhaps you want to hang out on one side to respond to a feeling in your body. Or perhaps you want to connect with your breath. Whatever you notice about how you're feeling right now, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, offer yourself some action on that. And then slowly go ahead and make your way to all fours. Stacking your hands underneath your knees and your knees underneath your hips, and find a new flow here. So inhaling, lifting your heart, and then exhaling to round. And find that reaching out and reaching in. Finding your way to a flat back. And if you have blocks nearby and you want to bring the floor a little higher or pillows, go ahead and step your left foot forward to a lunge. So as you step your left foot forward, go ahead and wiggle your right knee back so you feel just the right amount of sensation. So again, another opportunity to say, how does this feel? And then take action. So if it's too much sensation, you'll bring your right knee forward. If you're saying, I'd like to take action and find a little more, then you bring your right leg back. And then you're just beginning to find that same cat-cow motion in a lunge. So inhaling, rocking your hips forward, lifting your heart up, bringing your shoulders together. Exhaling to round. So finding this motion here. And you'll notice that you'll feel more of this. You don't have as much of a range of motion, possibly in your hips when you're in this shape. You'll feel it more through your shoulders and across your chest, possibly. That's where I feel it. And then bringing your left knee back to meet your right. And then switching legs, bring your right foot forward, setting yourself up so you wiggle your left knee back to just the right spot. And then inhale, lifting your heart. And then exhale, rounding forward and finding your cat-cow flow here.
But all that is changed now. Gone like a memory from the day.
And then bringing your right knee back underneath your hip, moving your blocks out of the way. Bringing your hands wide. Maybe tapping the tops of your feet on the floor. Making some circles with your ankles. And then when you're ready, rolling over your toes, sending your hips back and down. Finding this upside down V shape. Shaking your head yes and shaking your head no. And finding a few breaths here. Maybe even returning to that breath that we started with. Feel the expanse of your breath. And then as you breathe out, pulling support in through your center, channeling that energy up to come and support you through your heart and all the way through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just float your left leg up. Putting a bend in your knee and just rocking forward. Take a little flow here. So rounding into the shape, nose to knee. Inhale to lift. Exhale, draw it through. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale to round. And then just bringing your left leg down. So it's kind of maybe parallel to the front of your mat. This might be a spot where you're saying, oh, I'd like a little support. Maybe a pillow comes under your hip. Taking again, noticing how does your body feel? And then taking action to support yourself there. That's compassion. Inhale to lift your heart, smiling and emanating, reaching out from your heart center. And then exhale, walking your hands forward and just coming to rest in pigeon for a moment. And just allowing yourself a moment to draw energy back inward towards your own heart, reaching back in. And then slowly walking up, feeling that balance between your hips. Taking one more breath in, shining your heart up. Exhale, just allowing yourself to soften into the shape. And maybe even just playing with turning to look over. Maybe you bend your right leg, rotating your right arm up and back, catching hold of your left leg. And just take a breath here. Now feeling how you can reach out from your heart. And then when you're ready, releasing your hands back down to the earth, tucking your right toes under, finding yourself back up in the upside down V shape. And find your breath here, finding that expansive three-dimensional breath. And then breathing out, pulling your belly in and up, sending energy up to support your heart. 2 more like that. And then slowly floating your right leg up this time. And then drawing in toward your center, rocking weight forward into your hands. Inhale, pushing your heart back, lifting your right leg up. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale, bringing your right leg through parallel to the short edge of mat, or kind of parallel. Your right knee will come close to your right hand. And just coming to find a little balance between your hips. Pause. Check how you feel here. And then take any action you might want. Maybe you start to walk your left leg back. Maybe you bring support under your right hip. Be with how you feel. And then discern whether or not you need to take action to support yourself. And then when you're ready, reach into your heart.
If your face is down, take a look around.
In what way can you honor how you feel right now? And then slowly walking back up. Now taking that same compassion and radiating it out. Maybe you rotate your left arm back, putting a bend in your left leg, catching hold of your left foot. Or maybe you're somewhere in between of feeling that. Slowly releasing, bringing your left hand and your right hand back down to the mat, rolling your left toes under, coming to find an upside down V shape. Taking a few breaths here. And then slowly walking your hands and feet toward one another, finding a forward fold. And then slowly sweeping arms out to the sides and up overhead. And then bringing your hands back to heart center. Nestling your knuckles into your sternum, gazing downward. And just feeling your heart in your own hands for a moment. And then bringing your hands, and not really doing anything with your hands, rather turning your torso towards your left and just opening out. Taking a gentle twist here. And then bringing your hands back to your heart, coming back through center. Maybe you pause, feeling the vibration of your heart in your hands, and then turning to look out this direction. Try externally rotating your arms, fingertips, palms turn up toward the ceiling, fingertips toward the front of your body. Find a full deep breath. Exhale with support. Slowly unwinding. And then taking a long step back with your left foot. Turning your left toes out to the long end of your mat. Pushing your right leg straight. And then reaching both of your arms out. Externally rotate your shoulders by bringing your palms up toward the sky. Take a big deep breath in here. Exhale, reach toward your right hand. And then when you feel like you've reached completely out and you're radiating as much as you can from your right palm, you're balanced between both feet. Just gently bring your right hand down. Find that breath here. This is a great opportunity to feel that reaching in of your in-breath. And then as you reach out, feel. As you breathe out, feel energy releasing from all 5 points of your body, down into your feet, out through your hands, out through the crown of your head. And then when you're ready, coming back up through center, turning toes toward the long end of your mat, rotating, left toes out. Find a big expansive breath in. Exhale, reach. And find the shape on the other side. Just noticing, again, check in. How do you feel now? And when you're ready, stacking back up, turning both toes toward the long end of your mat, bringing your hands down. Coming back to turn your right toes to the top of the mat. We're going to find a warrior two, Virabhadasana 2, bending your right knee out over your right ankle, reaching from fingertip to fingertip, palms up to externally rotate, breathing in, and then breathing out, just supporting yourself in this shape. Let's take a flow here. So inhaling, straightening your leg, maybe even lifting that front heel up. Exhale, coming on down. And just dance with it, bringing everything in. And then exhale, reaching out. Couple more cycles like this. I'm just taking a moment to pause here in this strong base, feeling the weight balance between your front and left foot. Be sure that you've got enough weight in your back left foot. Inhale, gather it all up. Turn your right toes toward the long end of the mat, left toes toward the back end of your mat. Exhale, find warrior two. Inhale, draw it in, reach it in, and then reach it out. And then turning both toes back toward the short end of your mat, relaxing your arms down, bringing everything back towards center, bringing your hands to your chest again, gazing down, just feeling your heart in your hands, feeling the power of your heartbeat. Forward fold. And then stepping all the way back, finding your upside down V shape. And then sweeping your left leg up. And then drawing your knee into your chest. Take a flow, just a couple rounds of this. Inhale. Exhale, feeling the shift of weight from your back foot to your hands. And then feeling that shift back, staying totally present. And then finding yourself in this upside down V shape with your left leg lifted. Then putting a bend in your left knee, rocking your weight forward into your hands. And then just gently opening your hips. Maybe you begin to lift your left up onto your left fingertips. Or maybe you even step your left foot behind and flip over into wild thing. Feeling the reaching out from your heart. Your in-breath sends energy out. And your out-breath just allows you to care for yourself here. Then bringing your left arm back flat to the mat. And just taking a minute to come down, sitting back on your heels, bringing your arms alongside of yourself, just finding this child shape. So we just reached out in kind of a big way. Now draw that energy back in. And then when you're ready, reaching your arms out long, coming up, and just taking a moment in puppy posture, just letting your heart melt toward the earth. Find your breath here. And then slowly lifting, pushing into your hands, lifting back up. Finding your downward facing dog or upside down V shape again. Inhale, floating your right foot up. Exhale, float it through. Taking a few cycles of this. And then beginning to put a bend in your right knee, stacking your right hip on top of your left. And just beginning to play with bringing your weight into your left hand, bringing your left shoulder over your left wrist, onto your fingertips of your right hand. Just checking out what's happening here, or maybe even flipping all the way over. Extending your left leg long and feeling that line of energy from your left toes all the way through your left fingertips. And feel the power of your heart. Reach out from your heart, through your fingers, through your toes. And notice how you feel. And then slowly rotating back around, bringing your right foot to the ground. Finding the upside down V shape. Bringing your knees to the floor. And coming to sit back on your heels. Once again, hands come together. Nestling your thumbs into your sternum. gazing downward.
From the mountain to the sea, all of this is within me. I have everything I need. I have everything I need.
And then as you feel ready, just maybe shifting down to one hip, making your way to sit with your legs out in front, bringing your arms up and out, breathing in to reach out, and then as you breathe out, rounding forward. Again, one more dance of reaching in and out. So reaching out, extending as you breathe in, and feel your heart expanding, and then take all of that back in toward yourself. And then from landing finally, just briefly in staff pose. Find that breath that expands, feel it from your hips to your ribs, and then up into your lungs. And then as you breathe out, just let your shoulders slide back and down. Slowly scooting your hips towards your heels. Feet come flat to the earth, rolling down. Spreading your spine lovingly onto the earth. Just taking a moment here. Perhaps even connecting your hand with a part of your body that you might be often really hard on. Is there a part of yourself that every time you look in the mirror, you say something critical? Connect your hand here. And what compassionate message could you offer this part of your body? Maybe it's a space that's achy or sore a lot. How can you understand it? And even send a message of kind and loving awareness to it. And then slowly just releasing your hands, palm down. Feel your low back pulling away from the floor. And then bringing weight into your feet, starting to bring your hips up off the earth. And you'll feel everything lift, and you'll start to feel the top of your spine and maybe the back of your neck and your head connect with the floor. Take a big in-breath here when you reach the top. And then when you're ready to breathe out, slowly spreading your spine back down. Try a few rounds like this. The in-breath rocks your pelvis forward, fills your belly with breath, pushing into your feet, rolling up. And then slowly rolling back down. And then we'll go do this one more time. When you reach the top of this bridge posture, beginning to walk your hands toward one another, your shoulders toward one another, palms come together. And just let yourself be in this shape for a moment. And slowly rolling back down when you're ready. Hugging your knees into your chest for a moment. Rocking side to side. Maybe again is a good time to offer yourself an affirmation. Maybe you can forgive yourself for something. Or maybe you can just say, hey, you, I love you. And then bringing your feet flat to the floor again. We're going to have two choices of what we would practice next. So you can decide, you can come up into bridge posture again and feel your body in that shape. Or you might want to experiment, or if it's something you like to practice, wheel posture. So bringing your hands flat to the floor, slowly beginning to roll up, pushing into your legs. And if you're going to hang out in bridge, you'll begin to externally rotate your shoulders, bringing your hands clasped underneath your hips, stacking up here. It's always also an option to grab a block and support yourself in this shape. Remember, understand how you feel. Take action to be supportive to yourself. Maybe your action is going to be to experiment with bridge posture. So taking your fingertips, your elbows up toward the ceiling, fingertips toward your shoulders, and then pushing into your feet, into your hands, and coming up to hang out on the top of your head. And then possibly pushing all the way up, bringing your heart in between your hands, lifting through your sit bones, lifting your pubic bone toward the sky, and maybe even just finding a breath here. When you're ready, bending your arms, coming onto the top of your head, from wherever you were inquiring of yourself, of your beautiful, loving, magical self. Bringing your knees into your chest again. Maybe this time even bringing your nose towards your knees. Sealing your practice here. And then releasing your head to the floor again. Taking a bend in both of your knees. And bringing your hands to the outside of your feet. Finding happy baby posture. Maybe even just reconnecting to yourself as a small person. When we're born, we love everything about ourselves. We love our bodies. We love the sounds that we make. We're allowed to play in this space of complete non-judgment. How can you let yourself be there now? Love your body. Release any judgment you have about anything that you might feel was a mistake or something you feel ashamed of. How can you meet yourself here with compassion? And then when you're ready, begin to set yourself up for Savasana. So you may just want to be ready to spread all the way out. You may want to grab that cushion we talked about earlier and build yourself a space to relax in a heart opener. Sometimes I like to put like a book or a block underneath. Just finding yourself a space to relax in. We're just going to be here for about 5 minutes. And honestly, this is the most important part of the practice in so many ways. And for a lot of this sometimes can feel like an edgy place to go. Hard to sit still. It's hard just to be still and focus on yourself. But just, if you feel that way, notice it. And then how do you meet yourself here with loving, kind, aware, non-judgmental compassion? Begin to bring into your mind's eye someone that you love very much. Someone that maybe might need a little bit of extra love and compassion right now. Or maybe someone you know is lonely and really could use some kind thoughts. Whoever that person might be, just get them in your mind's eye. What does this person look like? How do they sound? Begin to picture them doing something that they love to do. And allow them to become really present to you now. In your mind, just repeat after me, sending a kind wish to this person. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you feel loved. With someone who maybe makes you angry or frustrated. Just begin to let them become present to you now. And begin to send your kind wishes to this person. Repeating in your mind, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be loved. Finally, bringing your hands to your heart. Perhaps bringing into your mind things that you give yourself a hard time for, things that you perceive to be faults or weaknesses. And connect with the compassion in your heart, sending yourself these kind wishes, saying in your mind, may I be happy. May I be healthy. May I feel peaceful. May I be loved. Stay here as long as you need to tonight. Namaste.